10 places to visit in Norway. Norway offers visitors an incredible mix of cultural and natural wonders to explore. From the country's cosmopolitan capital city of Oslo to its endless snow-capped mountain peaks and deep fjords, there's no end of choices for travelers in the land of the midnight sun and stunning northern lights. Despite its numerous mountains and rugged coastline, getting around the country is surprisingly easy. In fact, the country's top-notch public transport systems offer some of the best sightseeing opportunities. One of the world's most prosperous nations, Norway seems to have a fascinating museum for just about every important aspect of its rich cultural and social history. Norway is also rich in spectacular scenery, from its stunning fjords to its spectacular mountains and glaciers, many of which are easily accessible to tourists. Number 10. Bodo. Set in a stunning spot with majestic mountains rising in the distance, Bodo lies on a prominent peninsula jutting out into the Norwegian Sea. Located at the end of the breathtaking Kristrup coastal route, it is one of the northernmost cities in the country and acts as a gateway to the Arctic. Most people visit for the spectacular landscapes and nature that lie nearby and the ample outdoor recreation opportunities on offer. At Kaiservarden, for example, you can enjoy some fantastic hiking, while Svartholm Marhola is home to the largest cave in Scandinavia. Number 9. Jotunheimen. The largest alpine region on the Norwegian high plateau, the Jotunheimen covers an area of 3,499 square kilometers and includes Scandinavia's highest mountains. It's also home to many spectacular waterfalls, rivers, lakes, glaciers, and wildlife, such as large reindeer populations. Two of this national park's mountains rise to heights of more than 2,438 meters, the highest being Gladhopiggen. Despite its tremendous height, Gladhopiggen can be climbed in about 4 hours. Although a guide is required, the incredible views over rocky crags and fields of ice from the summit make it money well spent. Another 4-hour climb in the Harungen group is to the 1,349-meter Skalagsdalbulen and the Skalagsdalsberg Glacier. Number 8. Oslo. Surrounded by green hills and mountains, Norway's capital, Oslo, is set in a scenic spot at the end of the Oslofjord Fjord, with an abundance of lakes and islands nearby. A major economic, cultural, and political center, the city has a long history that dates back more than 1,000 years. While most of the capital is now home to creative and contemporary architecture, pockets of old wooden buildings are still found here and there, as well as its thriving performing arts scene and packed festival schedule. The city boasts excellent museums and art galleries. The Viking Ship Museum is particularly fascinating to explore. Due to its many green spaces and forests, Oslo also has several hiking and cycling spots, with the islands of the inner Oslofjord home to stunning scenery. Number 7. Alesund. Located on Norway's west coast, Alesund is the gateway to the iconic northwestern fjords and surrounding alpine mountains. The city of Alesund owes its present-day picturesque appearance to a city-wide reconstruction after a fire in 1904 destroyed most of the town. The city was rebuilt with stone and brick in the architectural style of the time and stands today as a perfect example of Jugendstil design, Northern Europe's version of Art Nouveau. Visitors can learn more about the style at the Jugendstil Senteret, or Art Nouveau Center. A hike up the 400 steps to the viewpoint Fjellstua is worthwhile as well. The mountain peak offers stunning views of Alesund and the surrounding islands. Number 6. Tromsø. Situated 349 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle, Tromsø is best known for its important role as the base of many major Arctic expeditions since the mid-1800s. The Tromsø area was first settled in the 13th century as a fishing village, and the industry has been an integral part of life here ever since, contributing to the area's maritime charm. Also a result of its northerly position, Tromsø is one of the top destinations in the world for seeing the spectacular northern lights. Tourists will find multiple attractions that explain and explore the phenomenon, including Polaria, the most northerly aquarium in the world, and the Polar Museum, with its interesting exhibits on Arctic exploration. An unexpected tourist attraction for an area deep within the frozen north, the Tromsø Arctic Alpine Botanic Garden is home to a plethora of flowering plants. Highlights include hardy rhododendrons and the gigantic Tibetan blue poppy, as well as a garden dedicated to the region's traditional medicinal plants. Number 5. Bergen. Bergen is surrounded by the spectacular Seven Mountains, with several fjords and forests surrounding it. Once part of the Hanseatic League, it has long been an important trading hub and seaport and is now the second largest city in the country. One of the most popular sightseeing opportunities in Bergen is the Bergen Hanseatic Wharf. This vibrantly painted area was once the city's center of trade and was dominated by the Hanseatic merchants. Today, tourists can find several historic buildings that portray life during the Middle Ages, as well as boutiques, restaurants, and the Bergen Museum. Bergen has a vivacious and youthful feel thanks to its large student population. While its bar and nightlife scene is certainly worth delving into, the gorgeous scenery surrounding the area is also lovely to hike around. Number 4. Stavanger. The fourth largest city in Norway, Stavanger lies along its southwest coastline and is the oil capital of the country. Thanks to all the wealth the booming industry has brought in, it's now one of the most expensive cities to live in and visit in the world. Those visiting the Stavanger area will also want to stop by the surprisingly fascinating Norwegian Canning Museum. Stavanger Cathedral is also a top tourist attraction in Stavanger. This 12th century structure features multiple styles, including a Romanesque basilica, a Baroque pulpit, and a Gothic font. While the city and its suburbs are sprawling ever larger, Stavanger has been an important center since Viking times. The Gamle Stavanger district transports visitors back in time to 18th century Scandinavia, while many beautiful wooden buildings can be found along the city's scenic waterfront. Number 3. Lofoten Islands. The magnificent Lofoten Islands form an archipelago off the coast of northwestern Norway and are a popular tourist destination for Norwegians and foreigners alike. Thanks to the Gulf Stream, the weather here is mild despite its location in the Arctic Circle. Tourists come here to enjoy the beaches, explore traditional fishing villages, as well as to kayak and hike. Many also come here to see the wildlife, a diverse array of characters, including everything from eagles to moose, as well as whales. The islands are also one of the best places to visit for a glimpse of the northern lights. There are plenty of other attractions and things to do on the islands, especially in Solvolvair. Lofoten Island's largest town, Solvolvair, is located on the southern coast of Osvagøy Island and easily accessible by ferry from the mainland. Number 2. Geirangerfjord. Part of the spectacular Fjords Norway network and regularly topping the UNESCO World Heritage Site list, the Geirangerfjord region north of Alesund offers some of the finest scenery anywhere in Norway. The eastward continuation of the Sunnyland Fjord, the Geirangerfjord boasts some of the country's most spectacular views. One of the best is from the summit of Dalsniba. At 1,495 meters, the views of the surrounding mountains and Geirangerfjord far below are simply breathtaking. Numerous cruises and tours are available, but if you're driving, be sure to take the winding Eagles Road with its 11 hairpin bends and great views. Number 1. Sognefjord. The largest of Norway's more than 1,700 named fjords, Sognefjord reaches 204 kilometers inland from the coastal village of Skolsden and branches off into countless smaller islets and fjords along the way. At its widest, the King of the Fjords, as it's known by Norwegians, is almost 5 kilometers across, and the cliff walls reach as high as 1,307 meters, making a breathtaking sight. The most popular way to visit the fjords is by boat. Fjords cruises and sightseeing tours are therefore plentiful, with many of the best tour options departing conveniently from the attractive town of Bergen. But wherever you choose to embark, be sure to allow a full day for your adventure. Another top destination in the Sognefjord area is Fjordsland. This stunningly beautiful region is home to Europe's biggest glacier, Jostedalsbreen, and the Norwegian Glacier Museum.